Once again, analyzing and doing analysis with Keith Thurman's performance versus Mario Barrios. Saw some good things, saw some bad things, then saw some things that just basically is textbook Keith Thurman and would or could and will be his Achilles heel in a fight versus Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. All right. Um, Evaluating the fight, if you look at the fight with Barrios, Keith Thurman was doing well, landing nice body shots, landing combinations going upstairs, landing lead lefts, landing nice hooks. Barrios would have his success sometimes, periodically, but just wasn't enough to win rounds like pretty much for the majority of the fight. You know, um, this fight was pretty much like the Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez fight, where Teofimo Lopez clearly won the first 6 or 7 rounds. Well, to me, a lot of people thought he won the first 7 rounds, which was a, you know, um, big lead, you know, and basically, Lomachenko had to climb out of that hole. Now, Lomachenko had like 3 rounds where he dominated, and it looked like he was possibly on the verge of maybe stopping Teofimo Lopez. But Teofimo Lopez, he dug deep and he finished strong the last 2 rounds, and it looked like he was possibly about to stop Lomachenko. So it could have been a stoppage either way. But Keith Thurman dominated the first, he dominated and won decisively the first 7 rounds easily. During towards you know, the later half of the fight, you started to see him fatigue a little bit. He was starting to get tired, and he got caught with a body shot, and it looked like it bothered him and bothered him a lot. Now we know what's Errol Spence's specialty for the most part: body shots. Now it was funny. He tweeted out to Keith Thurman that he was tailor made for him. Basically he had all the confidence in the world. Funny thing is, Errol Spence didn't say Terrence Crawford was tailor made for him after he stopped Sean Porter. You know, something he couldn't do. But nevertheless, um, and don't come on here saying somebody taking a shot. I'm just talking. Don't get all super emotional. Don't go Ralph Tresvant on me. Don't go Tito Jackson on me. Don't get extremely emotional or sensitive about the situation. I'm just joking. All right, for real. Don't bring that on here. But um, just I just was evaluating the fight, and I'm just looking at some things. Errol Spence, to me, I think he would punish Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman would have some moments because um, Errol Spence does come straightforward. He doesn't really bob and weave and stuff, and you know, I think Keith Thurman could have some success. But the problem is with Keith Thurman, does he have the power to bother Errol Spence? And it just looked like Keith Thurman's power isn't there. He isn't one time Keith Thurman. He is occasionally Keith Thurman. Now, keep in mind, they chose to fight with 10-ounce gloves. So, I don't know. What if they had on 8? Would Keith Thurman have got the stoppage? I don't know. I don't know. But most fighters, they say at 147 down, usually prefer 8-ounce gloves. But for this particular fight, they wore 10. Now, what do I think of Mario Barrios? Mario Barrios did what he could. Like, he had some successful moments. Like I said, he landed some nice combination, landed an occasional jab, and he landed some shots on Keith Thurman, but it just wasn't enough to secure the round. Keith Thurman clearly was winning the rounds. But like I said before, he did crack Keith Thurman with a body shot and it looked like he hurt him. but Keith Thurman was able to pull through. So, like I said before, we see Keith Thurman's Achilles heel is body shots. And looking at what I saw, I think both Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford will stop Keith Thurman. And then Keith Thurman sometimes, even when you watch him, sometimes you can get prepared for his punches because Keith Thurman loads up a lot. He cocks his punches and you can see, okay, he's getting ready to throw. Doesn't disguise his punches very well at times, but he's quick enough to get them off to where if you don't have good reflexes, it's hard to get out the way. So that's why you looking at styles, like how would his style work against Errol Spence and how would his style work against Terrence Crawford? Who would he have the most success against? I think he would have opportunities to land some shots off both of them. Because, sometimes Terrence Crawford in exchanges, he gets a little careless. And sometimes you can, knock Terrence Crawford off balance. And Terrence Crawford has this dog mentality where like he want to instantly get back at you. And to a certain degree, you can get Terrence Crawford to participate in a firefight. Who would that fit well more better for? Probably Terrence Crawford. So I'm just saying. But we all know the next fight more than likely is going to be Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence. I just don't see him taking a Terrence Crawford fight over Errol Spence, where if something happens, he could be in line to get an instant rematch or run it back. So that's my take. I think both Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford will stop Keith Thurman if they fight. It just would come down to who would stop him quicker. I think both of them would stop Keith Thurman probably around. Some people think Errol Spence would stop him within five rounds. I think Errol Spence would do it in like 8 or 9. And I think Terrence Crawford could possibly do it within 6 or 7. So that's my analysis. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.